come and join me in Material Musings, where you'll see all of these lovely projects and see how I put them together, and I'll talk a bit more about them. We've finished this piece, so I'd love to show you how I added the backing and the binding, and then we've got some larger looms that I've been making, and also some fabric pouches for your journals. So come and join me. So I've added some additional things to this piece, and I'll come in so that you can see some of the bits that I've done. And so you would have seen me add all these beads down the side. I've since gone in and added just a few French knots here, and then the small kind of like rice, I don't know whether it's called rice stitch, but it's a really tiny stitch at this point here. And then I've come in at the bottom and done some as well. And then I added the green embroidery thread just along here. So I was debating, and I thought that I would add a backing, and this is the material that I'm using, and it picks up some of the black in the project. I'm not sure how much of the side I'm going to be able to save, but we'll see. Anyway, so I just simply sorry about that. So I'm going to measure the size and then start folding over the edges, and I do just a simple stitch, almost like an invisible stitch with invisible thread, but along the edges. I thought about using the machine, but then I thought, let me just, it's a small piece, so I will just do it by hand. So I know that there are probably other ways to do it, but this is the way, this is the simplest way that I know to do it. And I'm still learning, so I'll never say that I'll never use another technique. So I've got equal lengths on either side. And then just at the bottom here, just cut this bit off here. It looks like we're going to lose this bit, but that's okay. And then I want to pin certain parts. Okay, so I think I might just start on this end here. So I'm going to fold it over once, and I'm going to use my bone folder to go down that line. This particular fabric, it keeps its crease once you've like folded it over. It's quite nice to work with. And then I'm going to fold this so it touches. I'm going to just be able to see this line of stitch. So I'm going to press down like so. So that's the first edge that I am going to stitch. And I can add a pin just to keep it and I'll be doing that all around and then finishing off. Okay, so this is the piece, and I have done the back, finished the back in. All that's left now is for me to put my name and finish the pieces and date it. So I like the way that turned out. So I want to show you the fabric that I was going to use for the prayer cloth. I had shown you one last week, but I've come up with this one and I really do like it, and I think the tones and the two colours, the deep purple is more fitting, and then the tan colour kind of goes with the wax resist pieces. Let's put it on its right side. Yeah, so I think that's a better fit. So what I need to do now is measure them out. This needs to be ironed, measure it out, and then do a similar thing that I did with this piece, but it won't have a backing. The backing will be open, so I'm just going to be doing the borders because of as I was explaining previously, the backing also has a story connecting the lines, the prayers. Each line is a prayer, and each of these ends is connecting to the next one. So that's what's going to happen with this, and hopefully I'll be able to show you the finished piece in a few weeks' time. But what I wanted to now show you, we've done our stitched piece, and I want to show you a couple of things that have come from the looms. These looms that I had made, they're smaller, and we get a smaller result from them, this size, and this kind of measures 8 inches if you include the beads, so about 7 inches in length in terms of the finished woven piece that you get. So I was going to make some bigger ones in cardboard, and then I realised I'd already made some bigger ones, and I want to show you those ones. I took some frames and added some nails. So this is say 14.5 by 12, and I've added the nails across, but the woven piece that I'm working on is just this size, so it's going to be, say, 5 inches, but it's going to be longer. So with these woven looms, so with these looms, I'll come right out, let's put it this way and then you'll be able to see it. So with these looms I can decide how wide I want it, and obviously then they're longer. And I've got another one that I did, similar sort of idea, but I didn't put the nails in them. It's this one. And I've started, and I put a piece of wood in there that's from the garden, so that I could make it easy to put the wool, pull the wool through. So I want to try and get these finished. I'll probably use some of my thicker wool on this one, and yeah, this is a lot bigger. So this is 19 by 14. So again, this one I just wrapped the this is burlap rope. I wrapped it around, and then I'll be cutting them and then tying them off once it's all complete. So I'm looking forward to getting this one finished. And the other one was this. This was going to be like my sculptural looms that I showed you. So this is mahogany wood, and I've added this on. So all this actually needs now is to be cut off and tied off, and to decide, I'd need to decide how I wanted to hang it, or I could just leave it on this and let it hang like that. But it's a bit kind of, it needed another bit to just kind of make it more solid. And then the one that I'm really pleased about is my branch loom. Okay, so here is my branch loom, my branch woven piece, and so I had found a branch in the garden that had these 3. You can make it with just 2. The one that I saw had just 2 additional branches, and you add the yarn and then work your way round. This one was very similar, a bit challenging, but I managed to complete it, and I think it turned out really nice. And then I've got this where I hang it on the wall. I varnished the wood prior to using it. I allowed it to dry out and then varnished it, and then I've decorated the tips and used some burlap around the edges, tips here, so it can be hung this way. It's like a hand, isn't it? Or this is the way I have it hung. So you can see, and I use a variety of different wool through there. But yeah, I like how it came out. I haven't yet cut these bits. I was just leaving it. I liked this kind of it's like rustic look. I don't know. But yeah, so that's the larger looms, and as I say, they're very easy to make. If you even just take this concept with the cardboard, you're literally just cutting grooves in and making sure that they're equal on both length, and then you have whatever size that you want. And I've put this strip in because it then makes it easier to work over and under. So this is a smaller one. And then the other thing, I've got loads of crocheted flowers. I think that's the most that I made. I made quite a few of them, and they can also go on the woven projects in any way or place that I want them to go. But yeah, I like this look. I like seeing the wood. I like seeing the two areas woven, and I might just move these little bits on here into and weave it round just so that it's neater. Yeah, but those are very easy, fairly straightforward. There's loads of instructions for creating looms online, and I normally have been using the woven pieces in stitched fabric, and even this one, when it's finished, I'm hoping to kind of work on it. So this bit moves up. It's only this bit that's up, but it does make it easier just to pull the tool, I can't remember what the tool is, the needle through. I just use like a large needle like this that can hold the wool, and I make my way. So that's how I've been inspired to work with the yarn even more so, and work on different things. And as I say, these woven pieces will end up on fabric pieces, combining them, or you know, they can be, I looked at making wrist cuffs, and I really like that idea, so I'm going to explore that, and just do a few more this size and see how, as a wall hanging, you know, it turns out. You can make them as big as you want. I don't have, I've got another frame that's maybe slightly bigger than this, but you can always piece sections together. So the last thing I wanted to show you was something that happened New Year's Eve as part of the Artsy Meetup Marathon, and I made these they're pouches, and they're pouches for art journals or whatever you want to put in them, really. And so I've got them all in here, so I'm just going to take them out and give you a look at all of them. That's very simple. They're quite easy to make, and they can be stitched by machine, by hand, or you can use fabric glue. So for the one that I made on Artsy Meetup was this one, and this fabric has been painted, and it's got words written on there, and then I've made fabric beads. So you start out with the fabric and with the plain fabric, and then do whatever kind of, you know, whether you want to paint on it, whether you want to dye them. This particular one is just fabric that I've taken, it's already printed. I've got ones that I've dyed. This has been like tie-dyed, and then use the ribbon to embellish. So you can make them with the fabric beads, or you can leave it, and when you coordinate the beads with them, it looks nice. And with this one I made a tab, so you can slot some thread through there and carry them. But they make really nice ways to carry your journals about. And here's some lovely beads. So this was a really nice project to make. I am doing a course, creating a course, showing you from start to finish how to take your fabric and work with it. So I have a nice selection of beads that I've made here, and these are from the painted fabric, and you can add additional things to them. You can also sew them. These have been glued, but you can also sew them, but they look quite pretty like that if you're using different fabrics. And you can wrap them with yarn and then add some seed beads as you can see there. So the beads are really fun to make, and if you're making them in already pre-printed fabric, these will look really nice in this particular fabric, so I might even try some of those. But you can get some nice results and make them to any size that suits whatever journal you have. You can make a little pouch to fit, and this one takes in some of your scraps. So I first added the scraps and then assembled the pouch. We've got that one, as we've seen, and that's the one as I say, I made in the artsy meetup. It happens once a year, so you'll have to join us for December 2024. I'm not sure whether you can still get access. You can get access to the recording, so you'll have to check. I'll leave the link in the description. Anyway, so this is probably one of my favorites, and I sometimes put my watercolor and my water brush here, and you can put those in the pockets. This is just a small vellum journal I'm playing with. And then the pouch comes into here, and it's got a nice way that you can carry it if you want, and it's got the beads at the bottom. So this one wouldn't be going in your bag. Obviously you could show off your journal pouch, but yeah, these were fun to make, and I will be doing a full course. So as I say, from start to finish, you get to see how to design your fabric and then make it in the 3 different ways, well, 2 different ways. I'll be doing the slow stitch and the gluing method, and we'll probably make a few different ones, make a few different types of fabric that have been painted, and then you'll have a variety to work with. And then we'll also make the beads and put them all together. So and then not forgetting, if you've got printed fabric that you want to make a journal pouch from, that you can do that as well. So that's going to be it for this week. We've finished our main project and done the backing, and I've shown you a variety of larger woven projects and some larger projects that you can make. I love this kind of wool. It's just so lovely to deal with. So what I'll probably do is remove it from here and have it as a wall hanging. This is mahogany wood that I've harvested from my garden, and then we have the much larger pieces. I've been working on this one, so I'll finish this one as well by the time we come back next week, and you'll be able to see how I get on. I've been crocheting the wool first because I don't have the thick wool, so it probably is time to go to the wool shop. That's what I say, and get some more wool. I think I might just start this one over. I want some, it's not as taut as it needs to be, so we'll see about this one. But yeah, I like the bigger size, so we'll be working on that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing how any of the projects have inspired you. And if you, I'll be leaving in next week's program details about the course, if you're interested, and I'll leave the link for that as well. And this is the finished project, which will probably be framed. So I look forward to seeing you next week, and I hope that, yes, you've been inspired by one of the projects here, and you decide to dive into whatever fabrics or yarns that you may have. So take care for now.